Alrighty, let's see if this thing works today. It's been already acting up on me. How's everybody doing today? Can you guys see here? And I think that's all you could do anyway. Can you see what we're doing? Can you hear what I'm saying? How's everybody doing tonight? Yeah, I had the same thing. Advertisement to black screen of death. Refresh the browser, it should come back on. If you're having that problem, give it a refresh. Because I got it up on monitor 2 and it seems to be working okay. Hey, Amaki and everybody else. S7, give it a refresh. Let me know if you guys got a picture. You should be looking at the FM textile building that we've been working on Tuesday. Hopefully. Anyway. And once we get confirmation. Alright, then we will be starting the show. Picking up where we left off, and I did some testing, and there is no way that we can get to use the menus in the game. So we have to stick with UPK stuff if we want to create additional factories and things like that. So we're back at the factory, and I will show you guys exactly what I figured out we have to do in order to finish this one up. Alright, so as you know, we have our add-on folder down at the bottom here with our DadgeNet add-on. Very importantly, we'll highlight the folder, and it has all the... Actually, it doesn't. We want to highlight the juice, the workings of the factory, which is the juice part here. And it has all of the UPK information. Because we are creating this in a mod, rather than calling... And the only way to get the fruit to register, the new juice type to register, we need to call, instead of the PV Rivers map, we need to call the mod, the name of the mod itself. And I've been naming it DadgeNet underscore add-on. Let me double check the spelling of that. I think it might be capitalized. Let me find my folder. Nope, DadgeNet add-on is good. Alright, so you want the mod name to point to the add-on, not to the map. So once you got that down, and that is correct, there are a couple extra steps to do as well. Because we're calling all the stuff from the map, we want to go into our add-on folder and find our mod description file one more time right here. And where we have the text names, this one we don't need because that was for the other one. Where we have juice showing as fruit juice, we actually have to register the L10 entries for every product that's in the factory because it'll be reading them from here. So, the factory product, even though they're in the map, this is where it's the UPK is going to look for the names. So we're going to put the apple, and then orange, and then the English version is orange, and then we have cranberry. Same as the top line, just change the words for each of the different products. You ran into a problem with the orchards, huh? Yeah. If you are dumping in the orchard, you shouldn't be getting the fruit. You empty the fruit. Yeah, there's two triggers there. You get fruit if your tipper is empty. And then we got the coal here too. Those are the 4 products I think that we're using. So we have those entries there. Very important. Save that. Next, we need to register the fruit type, and we're going to register it through the UPK kit. I created a file. You guys can get it by typing exclamation point REG. I'll throw that up there. This is much easier when I'm not in game to type in the chat box at the same time. Exclamation point REG should throw it up there, hopefully. Or not. Come on. Wasn't that how I put it in there? Yeah. There it goes. Okay. And that is the register Lua. This is how we are going to register our fruits, the juice fruit type. And it already has the line juice. You can change that. And the mod directory is dagenet addon HUDs and then the juice HUD. So you have your universal process kit register fill type. That's all you need. Any fruits you want to register, just copy that name, that whole line, and change the type you're registering and change the name of your mod and point to your HUD file wherever it is in there. The only other thing you need to do is go to your mod description file. We're going to edit that with Notepad. And you want to have this extra source files. You want to point directly to where the register Lua is. And I have it in the base folder. So it just needs to have in the quotes here, register.lua. If it was in another folder, you'd have the folder name /register.lua. But that's where it's going to call to register the fruit type of juice. Hopefully everything will work. Once you have all those pieces in place. Now, let me jump in to a save game file and make some changes. Farming Simulator. I think we were on save game 4. I'm going to go into our factories again and add some products in. Make sure this is a game I'm working on. We should have in the main warehouse building. I'm just checking the numbers. Bear with me as I find it. These lists are so long. The crops. Do we have them in there? Cranberry, that is the one we added the cranberry and everything into. So that is good. I just need to go back into the same folder. And in the career save game, I'm going to add in coal. Because we need coal. I believe I could put it right down in here. You don't need to do this part. We're just cheating it a little bit so I don't have to dig some coal, hopefully. That'll work. And because we added it in, I'm going to change the fill type count to 13. And we'll load up save game 4 and see what we have. 04 Paul, how are you doing today? Yeah, don't want to mix your fruit with your poop. It doesn't taste too good. So let's see if everything is working correctly so far. Good evening, KW. Thanks for moderating as always. Nice to see you again. This should not take too long to get this factory up and running. We'll do a little bit of editing the files a little bit to make it look more like a juice factory, and I'm going to have to do the box truck changes too in order to get it to take fruit or juice and make sure the juice is coming out all right. So we'll show you those steps as well. Then we'll have to make some place to sell it. My fingers are crossed that everything loads up. No. I have to say while we're waiting here, there is an awesome PDA map. It was done by Bulldog77 on the forums. I love it. That is incredible work. If Bulldog's out there, either way, let me pull this over here before we get in, because you guys got, if you haven't seen this map, it's absolutely, the detail he went to is incredible, and we will, when we do another map update at some point, replace the existing PDA map with this one, because the detail, you can see the factories and the detail in them incredibly. Just the amount of work, and the water shows up much better. More patience than I have to do the map. You can definitely tell what everything is, so I'm going to try to get that in the next update for sure. Got the boats in the water here at the docks. Just an awesome job, Bulldog77. Thank you so much for doing that. That's incredible. And for you guys that want to label things on the map, there you go. Grab his copy out of the forums and you can put that on your side monitor. It's right there. Awesome job. Let's get back over to the game and see what we have. Alright, here's our factory. We walk up to it. Cranberry is not registered correctly in there, and neither is coal because they're in the parentheses, so I don't know what the heck happened with that. That is weird. I will have to check those out again. But fruit juice is registering correctly now. You can see the name. Apples and oranges. Looking good. But cranberry and coal, the names are not registered properly. That's why they're in the brackets. So we'll have to see what's going on with those two. May have to register them individually through the mod as well, but it shouldn't. The L10 entries should work fine. So let's see what we have. Cranberry and coal. Into our mod description file. Cranberry has, oh, see, no, that looks right. Cranberry, English version. Coal, same way there. Let me check the map and see how we have it registered in the map, just because that's the way it needs to be registered in here. So under the mod description file, we'll do a search for cranberry. And that's not it. That's not it. There it is. That's the way it's supposed to be registered. It looks the same, just I have it much neater in the map. I'll bring that over just to make sure. In the add-on, it's the same way. There literally is no difference. I don't know why it did not register it correctly through here. Unless I have the map name to add on wrong. But did I save it? I didn't copy it and save it over. That's what I think I did. Let's do this. We have to, oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind. We never created it, backed it up. Let's archive it and put our new copy in. Zip it up. That's what I didn't do. I'm still working on the last copy that I was testing earlier to see if things would work. So put that into our folder and overwrite it. Then we should be all set. You definitely have to zip up your work and put it in the right place in order for it to load up. Now they won't be conflicting. It should overwrite it. It was simply I missed the whole zip it up process. But thanks for checking my work. You never know with me. Big Daddy, how are you doing out there? So let's try this right this time. It should be okay. You got to put the mod in the folder in order for your changes to show up. Waiting, waiting. Somebody's got to create a smaller map so it doesn't take so long to load. All right. Back over here. If everything is right now, it should be all good. All right. Now they're out of parentheses. Everything registered correctly. The L10 entries are correct because they don't have those little brackets around them. So now we just go get some coal. Oh yes, just so you know, we did need to fix that. Coal was not part of the recipe. So let me go back and make sure that we add coal into the recipe before we go get the coal. And there's follow Willsmerly10. Thank you very much for the follow. Will Simmerly, I guess it is. Will Simmerly. All right, so we had the issue. We're going back into the map. Map 01, where coal was not part of our little recipe to make the fruit. So we do need to change that as well. Did I leave the map open by any chance? I did. Close that one. It's over here already. And go to our juice. We're going to go to the processor, which is right here. And the recipe called for 1 apple, 1 orange, 0.5 cranberry, and we're going to do 0.2 on the coal, so don't have to run coal to it all the time. 0.2, then space, then coal. Now we have coal that will also be needed to start producing. I'm going to save the whole map real quick, and then we'll export this one more time into the folder, and we should be good. While we're waiting for that, we might as well do... I'm going to take a copy of the box trailer, and this should be pretty easy, and copy that to my desktop and extract it. And maybe the computer will catch up with me. There we go. Here we are. To add the fruit type, interestingly enough, box trailer XML, we just have to add juice in here. I'll put it right in the beginning. Now, down in the fill planes, if I'm correct, juice should still be in here from the last, there it is. I don't know if it's going to show up correctly, but juice is still a fill plane in there from way back in FS 2013. So with that change, I can re-zip my box truck up, box trailer, put that overwriting in my folder here, go back to my map, should be done by now, and then I'm going to export my add-on one more time with the new changes. Export selection with files right into my DAGNet add-on folder as the DAGNet add-on name. We'll overwrite that one. just to make sure the files are good, we'll minimize that. Do I have two maps open now? This one here is not needed. Close it. I have two copies of the same thing running. So we have our add-on. We need to re-zip it one more time with the changes. And overwrite that in our mods folder as well. And we should be good to go with a box trailer that will actually hold the juice. We'll find out if everything's working. Good evening, Chetty. Good to see you out there today. Save game 4, please. So has anybody out there started a add-on for the map yet? That'd be interesting. I was wondering if it's possible to maybe even make that PDA map an add-on. I have no clue if it can be done or not. It's possible. If it would overwrite the existing one or not, I have no idea, but that would be cool if it could. Alright. Back to the factory. We have juice in there. It doesn't have coal or apples, but let's run some juice just for the heck of it. See if it will pick it up. If it did, then everything's working as planned. If it doesn't, then everything's not working as planned. This is not a box trailer. We need a box trailer. Can't load it in a tipper. Let's get a new truck and trailer. One of those. Is it in? Whoops, I went right by it. One of these. And off we go. With our fingers crossed once again. If juice is registered properly in the map and the box truck, we should be able to get juice in this thing. It should come up with the mellow labels on the side from the 2013 map. Might be a little bit off because I didn't do anything with that one since yeah, long time. Couple years since I made those. All right. Here we go, the big test. If we pull into bay number 4, we should get some juice. Hopefully, please, please, please. Fingers are crossed. All right, so yeah, you can see that the box truck, like I thought, the scaling has been changed, but I'm not concerned about the box truck. The fact is that juice is registered properly on the map, and we could easily edit the graphics and everything at some other time. We still have juice as the apple for the picture So that would need to be changed too, but it's showing that we have juice. And the box truck just needs a little bit of work on the juice, just a little. As you can see, the front is a little bit off. I kind of thought that was going to happen because we did some scaling issues from 2013 to 2015. But the good news is our juice factory is 100% working as an add-on. The only other thing we need to do now is find a place to sell the juice. So we're going to have to create a UPK add-on sell point as well. You could actually probably create an in-game type sell point, but we're going to create one with the UPK just because it gives you guys a little bit of another UPK lesson. And it's very simple. We could actually do one of two ways, but let's see. We're going to create a separate one altogether. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to just, because I love to copy and paste, it's the way I remember everything. Actually, let's do one that's very simple. Let's go to the bank, because the bank has one for selling the gold. And it's already set up. So if you're working in this map and creating an add-on, look around and think, and it's going to be easier for me, obviously, because I know where everything is. But this sell-off point right here at the bank is a UPK sell point because we needed to do UPK for selling gold. So I'm going to copy that one. And it includes all the same. You could set this up right from basic start. We're going to include it in our add-on. We're going to paste it in there. It has a UPK version. A tip place is the map hotspot. We're not even going. You can put a map hotspot. We're going to leave that off there, though. We'll delete it. But the mod name has got to be our mod. Dajnet underscore add-on. And the universal process kit on the create, we're going to change this to name here, up here in the right hand corner. We're going to just call it the sell point for juice. Sell point right there. All it consists of is the trigger, which is actually where we're going to sell the product and what it sells and everything else. So we could actually literally add this to a building over the top of one of the in-game triggers if we wanted to. We can we can't add juice to any of the factories or anything, but if we wanted to create, rather than create another sell point, if we wanted to, we can put this station trigger right up here at Lydia's. And because Lydia's doesn't take juice, it will go into this trigger instead. We'll just bring that down to the ground. If we sell juice off at Lydia's, we need accepted field types to say juice, convert field types. Basically, it voids juice. Basically, get rid of it. Void space juice under convert field types. And then you set your revenues per liter, how much you want to get. So let's 3,500 is really high because that's for gold. Let's change that to let's make it 100 and, well, no, that's going to be a lot. Let's make it 25 per liter just for the heck of it. And mission income type is a tip trigger. So that's really all you need. This other part of the trigger here is actually just visual. If we wanted to bring that over and put it side next to it, we could do that. Or you can set up a whole new building, import a new building for it, and then just bring over the visual sell point, put the trigger on it. But I'm not going to do that. I'm going to add it right to Lydia's. So I don't need that part. So it's literally just the trigger. And you can import a new building and put it somewhere on the map if you want. It's very simple. Just drop it into the add-ons folder. And that's all you need. So it's going to accept juice. It's going to convert the fill type to void. Void juice means as it sells it off, it gets rid of it. You could literally change juice to slurry here if you wanted to by converting it, but we're going to give it 25 per liter. So 1,000 liters is $25,000. That's kind of expensive too. So let's maybe knock that 1,000 liters, $5,000. That works, 5 per liter. And it's a tip trigger. And we take our add-on one more time. Export the selection with files. As our Dagina add-on, it will replace everything that's there with what's new and what's needed. Come back over here, get rid of this one. I'm going to zip it all up again. And here's our add-on. Replace it. We'll go back in the map now and see if we can actually sell our juice off and what kind of money we get for it. We got 25,000 liters of juice times 5. We should get a healthy profit out of this. Hey JWB 509, how you doing tonight? LJ is back in the house. LJ Stott, how are you? A lot of people out there today. So here's the deal. Let's see. We're going to do the add-on contest offering a $100 first prize. We may even offer a second prize. Actually, I'm going to offer a second prize too, which will be a free Farming Simulator 17 pre-order copy. We'll throw that in there as well. So we'll do a first and second place for the best map add-on. I have the now if you win the $100 first prize, you will need a PayPal account. I'm sorry, but that's the only way I can transfer money if you want cash. Otherwise, you can choose a gift card from Steam or heck Walmart or something like that, and I could send it to you that way as well. But PayPal account if you want cash, I can transfer it right to your email address that you have your PayPal account if you are the winner. Secondly, we're going to close the entries on August 12th, and I should have stopped the time so we could actually see what's going on. I'm driving right by Lydia's. And I am also probably not going to be here. That's a Friday, August 12th, and let's see, we have $961,000, and we're selling our juice. Like I said, it should be 125 grand for this juice, which is still pricey, but you can adjust your prices however you want. So there you go. It's added right to the Lydia's sell point. No problem, G-Man 131. Glad you could join us. And in the dark. So we've covered how to create a UPK factory. If you missed part 1, I didn't post it up. I'm going to post them both up right after the show tonight. Parts 1 and part 2 of the creating an add-on. And this was much, much more in depth because we got into adding an actual factory and created it with the Universal Process Kit. And we did not change any of the graphics. I'm going to give you a brief look at how to do graphics, even though we aren't going to do all the editing for you. We'll show you just a recap for you guys to see how we find the graphics that we need to edit. Savron99, thank you so much for the $25 donation. That is greatly appreciated. Thank you very, 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 very much. That's awesome. Love it. Thank you so much. And I hope I'm teaching you something today. So we've covered the whole factory. We have a factory in the add-on, but it still is a regular old textile factory. When we exported our files into our DadgeNet add-on, we have a ton of files here for our whole add-on. What we need to do is find the image for the juice factory, the textile factory in here, so we can edit it. And I recommend using paint.net. It's free. You can also use GIMP if you want. I use that one as well, but paint.net works really well for doing these things. I usually use them both. Let's find you're just going to have to go through and look at your textures. Hopefully you'll have the DDS viewer. I should have got a link for that. Search for DDS viewer on the internet and get that plug-in for your operating system if you don't already have it, because it will make your finding these images so much easier. And if I view my extra large icons, I can look through and see that this is what file we need to change to get the textile factory to look like a juice factory. So I will open that up, and luckily I have bays 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 labeled. Now I'm going to zoom this in because it works so much easier if I can zoom it in. And this is where the company name goes. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to grab the rectangle select, and I am going to first change the name. All I'm going to do is take this box here, highlight over that, and hit the delete key. Then just change my color to white with the color palette, and I'm going to take the fill box and fill it in. Then I have the text. We bring a text cursor, and I'm doing it a simple way. You can import a graphic for Mellow Juice if you find one on the web. You can import it. But we're going to just do something with the text for now. And and it's in white. You got to make sure you change it back to the color you want. We're going to do orange because Mellow Juice is orange logo. And we will take that text and let's make it bold and make it bigger. Say not that big. Forgot we're zoomed in. And keep it inside the box. That looks good. We'll drag it over. Simple as that. Now the bays do the same thing. You very simply take each of the boxes. We know one is going to be, I remember this, you may not know it, but one is, gonna get them all set back to normal first. We'll cut all these out and fill them all in with the white, base white. Whoops, I missed part of that one. And fill, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we'll get our text cursor. We're going to go with black. And it's not going to be as big as that, so we'll go down a little bit in size. 1, yeah, we're going to go down a lot in size, but 1 is apple. So apples it is. Let's bring that into the center here and make it a little bit smaller. 24. We'll go a little bit smaller than that. 22. And just center it up. Apples go there. Number 2. Get a new box. Is oranges. Kind of center it up in there. Just guessing right now. Get it close. That's all. Make it look good. Number 3 is cranberries. And if it's too big, we're going to have to shrink it down a little bit. Bigger words. We'll squeeze it in. That'll work. Number 4 is the Coal Bay. And number 5 was the fruit juice. So, we just edited the graphic completely for the factory. We're going to save as, and we're going to keep the same name. It's right in the same folder. Save. With this, you want to make sure your compression is set to DXT1, and you want to have generate MIP maps, which mine's always defaulting to that anyway. Selected. That MIP maps are what make it appear a little blurry when you're further away. It'll use a lower resolution so it doesn't have to load the main graphic in. There we go. That is overwritten. The only other graphic issue we had was in our Dagenet add-on in our HUDs. We have an apple for the juice, so let's load that one up. And same thing. Let's just, we'll do an edit, select all from this one, and hit delete. And find a new juice. Now, I'll show you what I do as I'm watching me do this on my other monitor. I'm just going to go and let's do a mellow juice search on the web. And then let's just go to the images. And we can take any of these. This one looks pretty good. Not too bad. And save the picture to my desktop, which is not there. My desktop is right here. I have a picture. Let's close that tab because I wanted to keep my stream open so I could see if everything's going good. Put that back over there. Now I will go and open this picture up in a new window. So we'll go to the desktop once again. Find my Mellow Juice file, which I should have kind of looked at the name of it first, but I didn't. So it's in here somewhere. And once I find it, Mellow Bottles, there we go. Alright, now we're going to just take our rectangle select, and I'm just going to take the top part here for the juice bottles. Actually, that should work. Edit, cut that out. I'm going to paste it in a new image, which is blank. Then I'm going to go to image, resize, and I'm going to make it so it's square and make sure it's lower than the. So I'm just going to change. It's going to make it a little bit distorted, but most people will never know the difference that I distorted it by a few pixels. Then I'm going to select the whole thing, go back to our original blank one, and paste it in the center. And that will be our juice icon. You do have a option which sometimes it works, sometimes it does. The magic wand feature, if I can get it to show up, can sometimes cut around the objects really nicely. There you go. So we took out the background and now we just have the juice bottles and a clear background. Now with the objects that have a clear background, we're going to just overwrite our juice HUD, replace it. But those are the ones you want to have DXT5. And because this is not actually in the map, you don't need to generate the MIP maps, it's just a logo. And we should have a juice HUD. That's as simple as how to make a quick juice HUD. For some reason, Windows 10 just decided with one of its last updates to throw thumbsdb files, which you don't want in your mod. If you can find them by searching the directory for thumbs and deleting them, They can be there. They're not going to harm any. Just throw errors up on a server. Get rid of them before you export your final version of your mod if you're using and you get the same issue. It's a new thing, new step I have to do. Zip it up. And other than the box truck plane still being a little wacky, we should have a new juice HUD as well as a new looking building. Put it in the right folder here. So there's basics of graphics editing. It's actually very simple to do some of the things. Find the right graphics and just change them. Buffalo 131, thank you for the follow. I hope I'm not going too fast for you, but when you get and you want to do the process yourself, we'll have both of these videos, this one and the last one, up on YouTube so you can pause as I'm going and practice. It takes a lot of practice and I'm still learning. Every day I do something, I'm still learning. Doing this whole add-on process, it was pretty much learning with you guys between Tuesday and today. It is helpful when you're familiar with some of the other things, but this is a much more in-depth add-on. You can do add-ons. Let me just explain something about add-ons. You can take very many of the placeable objects and build them into the map. They'll come with scripts, such as the animal barns on Marhu's site. They come with scripts that are registered in the mod. They also, you will find let me run this today a little bit. You will find, actually I want to go get some more. If I can't see a blooming thing out here. Lights, please. I want to get some more apples because our factory's out. We need more juice. You can basically put any of those placeables into the map. They're running scripts. When you look in their mod description file of that mod, when you unzip it, it will show you what scripts are registered. And usually you just have to make sure you have the right scripts copied into your map, your mod folder, along with the right lines in your mod description XML file, and they will work. And I'll show you an example of that while we're waiting for daylight. Let's go back to, whoops. Let's go back to desktop if I can by shutting, all right. I took a Sosnovka add-on map, and this is where I've got most of my files. And they have in there, it's where they add the beef and the pig husbandry to the Sosnovka map. But in addition to that, if we go into the mod description file here, you'll see he's registering the entries for those mods. But he's also got in here, down here where he's registering the wool pallet collector, digital mount mover, bale to manure, bale to grass, and bale to straw scripts, bale to silage script, the stop milk sale and all-in-one silo, the fabric script which runs the sawmills and everything. Then he registers his fill types. He's got fill triggers, you name it. But he's registering all those files in his mod and adding them to the Sosnovka map. So you could do the same thing here. You could put in your own wool pallet collectors as an add-on and just drop it in, and voila, you have pallet collectors. But you need to register them here and make sure you have all the components. Any new fill types have to be listed, or any lines of text that those mods may pop up on the screen. But when you get the, say, the wool pallet collector, for instance, from Marhu's site, it comes with instructions and tells you what L10N entries need to be added to your map. It'll tell you what extra source files need to be added to your map. You're just going to do the same process, but add them to the add-on, and you'll be good to go, rather than adding them to the map. So off to get some more apples and coal, and then we'll get a final test on this factory and all the... We'll check it out. Make sure... I just want to see if our HUD shows up correctly, and I need a few drops of juice in there. Add-ons do not have to be complicated. Without scripts is absolutely fine too. Literally, you could plant new trees and forests on the map with the add-ons. You can put street signs on the map. They don't require any just decorative objects. You know, find a blank spot and build yourself an airport. There's a lot of blank areas on this map purposely for extending and adding, and you might be able to utilize some of them to build your own little shops or just decorative items. So love to see what you guys could come up with on that. You could add some new bridges in places that you think it needs a bridge. Unless you're building a bridge, which you could do that too. If you wanted to make another buildable bridge, you can copy the ones that I have and move them and put them into your add-on folder and put them in other places, and voila, you'll have a buildable bridge. Yeah, exactly. Good point. The simplest add-on sometimes is the most used one. And that's why I keep I'm not going to make one until you guys are done. I can always add it in my stuff into the next edition of the map. But here's the thing. If there's a really, really, really cool add-on, the way you have the add-on set up, we can incorporate it right into the next version of the map as well. And if you create a really cool universal process kit factory or something that everybody loves and it wins the contest, and it's a... Where's my cranberry? Apples. I'm at the wrong silo for apples. Darn it. But if you created a factory that people like and they using it and it's a popular add-on, I can, because I am the map creator, I can literally go in and on our next release of the map, convert it so it's one of the ones that's in the game, just switching the triggers out and stuff. But you guys will have the products and the graphic work done. So yeah, that's a very good possibility as well. We'll see what you guys come up with. UPK not included. Universal Process Kit can be downloaded from modhoster.com 0.9.8. It's in our mods folder, ! Rivers. You'll just need to be able to test it, make sure everything works, check your error log. Not like I didn't do today, but things are working, so. But you should always check your error log one last time before you actually submit it. Make sure you didn't create an error, even though something's working, and we've told you this a million times. Doesn't mean that you're not getting an error somewhere underneath the surface that could end up being a potential problem down the road. So check your error logs, because that's one thing we'll definitely be looking at and making a note of if there's an error in your add-on. Because, you know us, errors are not good. Especially if you're doing a UPK add-on and it's throwing an error. It could literally shut down once it messes up every other UPK thing on the map, because the add-on's actually right, so it's like a part of the map as it's when it's in your folder. Yes, you can make a placeable using the same process. We're doing an add-on contest, so you can make placeables using the same process as well. The UPK stuff you can build into the map as well. as we have. So but as an add-on, you are pre-placing the objects where you want them to be seen throughout the map. So it makes it very, and you don't have to use the UPK either for doing your add-on. You could use whatever you find. It'd be interesting. You want to add pallet collectors to something? Go for it. Give it a try. Add conveyors to some of the places, or add new silos in on the grounds in different places. So here's our building that we very simply changed to mellow juice. Looks pretty good there. Not very decorative, but you can see our labels all changed. Fruit juice is there. And we have a coal, cranberries, oranges, and apples at the right bay numbers. Just very simply changing the graphic up a little bit. We now have a mellow juice company. And we're going to put the apples in and then go grab some coal so I can get some juice. I believe we did a Fert Master with the UPK kit, yes, in that one video. So you could definitely do something like that as well. The Fert Master was using the UPK kit. This is not exactly the factory complete. Oh yeah, we have the big apples. I guess I could show you guys in a little bit. Let me get some coal. I'm gonna cheat here with the Control T, so if I can. Sometimes I just can't get the vehicle to jump down there with that silly transport thing. I don't know if it's out of range for it or what the deal is. Come on, jump down there. I don't want to drive all the way. Alright, I guess we'll drive. We'll show you how to shrink the graphics on the Apple for this as well, in this little factory. Because we don't want those oversized apples. And that's one thing, you guys, it'll be helpful in the future if you end up with very big graphics on something. It's a simple process, but first time it could be confusing. Too many axles. I've teleported this truck before several times, but sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And of course, right now it doesn't. You know what? I think I want... we'll just keep going with it. Let's try it one more time. Or two more times. No, it won't teleport. Darn truck. Try to close the F1 menu. I don't know if it will do it. I don't know what difference that would have. No. No good. No good. No cheating today. Just got to drive from one corner of the map to the other. I was thinking I should have probably grabbed the DadgeNet Pete because it's much faster. As a matter of fact, let's do that. And let's see if I can pick up a trailer and then teleport this one. We'll get there a lot faster and back. Because this thing hauls. We can get this thing going 90 times. Actually, I think I've had it up to 100. Just takes a while to build up speed. We just need to pick up a tipper somewhere. So I'll swing by the shop and purchase one, and then we'll see if we can teleport the whole mess right down there. Or if not, we'll drive. Beat my horn. Ooh, nice horn on this too. Isn't that nice? I don't know if you guys can hear that. You should be able to. Alright, tipper please. Let's get something good. as I watch myself fly by. Let's see. Let's grab a Wilson trailer. Yeah, the white one. Why not? We'll do white. Brakes! End up in the water. See if it happens this time. Close enough to the mine for me. That's what we're talking about. Coal. Now, if I put the coal in the silo correctly in the game save, we should be all set. If I didn't, then we'll have to dig some coal. Yeah, we have coal. Like 5 million of it, I think I put in there. Yeah, we're good. If I can steer. Load up coal. That should be plenty. We don't have to wait all day. Ready for the... I don't know if we should teleport out of them. Well, I'll drive out of them. Then we'll teleport across with our new load of coal. Alright, so I think we're right about... Let's see, we're over here, right over here in that box, I believe. Yep, perfect. So over to do our coal belly dump. F1 menu. We do have some fruit juice left. I didn't even notice that, but we can double check and... Whoops, wrong button. Make sure we're producing again. Yep, we're good. Producing juice. And the oranges will run out. Alright, so we have juice. We have our apples. We just need another box truck back here. Whoops. Turn around. And we should get a mellow logo appearing on the side. There we go. Mellow juice with a clear background as we put it in. So, just a couple quick graphic fixes and we have those, other than the box truck still looking out of whack. The last thing I'm going to show you on this whole thing is the apples there. We have apples that are about the size of, oh, I don't know, cantaloupes, maybe even bigger. So it doesn't quite look real. Right. Let's go to save right here. And we'll go find our apple file. And what I usually use for this is GIMP. GIMP works, and that's, you guys will find out, different programs usually work better for different things. What we need to do is find our, in our mod, not this mod, but in our add-on, we need to find the file for the apple, which is the diffuse file right here. Apple diffuse. That's what we're going to look at. But what I'm going to do is going to open that up in GIMP, if I can. Yeah, well, I don't know if GIMP's going to show up in this list, but let's see. No, of course not. So we'll just do it this way. Start up GIMP. Now you could probably do some of this in Paint.net too, but I'm just so familiar with doing it in GIMP that it makes I've got it down to a science, whereas Paint.net I haven't even taken the time to figure out how to do it. Yeah, they're bigger than grapefruit even. All right. So we'll file open desktop and DAGNet add-on Apple Diffuse. Okay. Here we have our Apple Diffuse. First thing we're going to do is scale the image to 1/4 of 512, which is 128 by 128. Make them much smaller. We have much smaller apples. Second, we're going to edit. Well, let's see. Is it image? I can't remember. It's been so long since I've been in here. Where's the select all? Is it in select all right there? Working between two. All right, and then we're going to copy that. I'm going to go and open my Apple Diffuse in another place as well, so I get the regular image size back. Select all here and delete. Now what I do is with this selected, I'm going to edit, paste as a new pattern, and I'm going to just leave it named my pattern. It shows up in our pattern box in the top left corner. So if I go to my other one, here's my image, the full size one, and I just take that pattern and drag it in, voila, you can compare. We tiled the apples, much smaller size. File, save that. Oh, nope, we're going to export it, right? We're in a different program and do it from the, get back here, GIMP. Where did I minimize it to? There it is. File, export, Apple Diffuse.dds. Export, replace, compression, DXT1 with your MIP maps. Click OK. Now technically we should be doing the same thing with the other maps as well. You want your normal map, so you can either do the same process or you can go and create a new normal map from the new image, like so. You need these plugins. I have this all in for doing the normal maps, and oops, I just did a bad thing. I just exported that as edit undo normal map, because I just exported it over the top of the other one. Alright, edit redo, file, export as Apple normal. Yes, so for more detail on these, check out my YouTube videos on making your specular and normal maps. I'm just gonna do the three of them right off of this with the right size. Colors, specular image, we're going to go to desaturate, and then color levels, and then drag this one down here, that one over till we got a good contrast between our dark points and our light points. That looks pretty good. And then we'll file, export that as our specular image to rewrite over the top of the other one. Simple as that. Piece of cake, right? Now we have 3 new images and we should have much smaller apples when we load back in. Oh, no, we're not. Silly me. There's one thing you have to always do. If you're editing your add-on, make sure you zip it up and put the new copy in, or you're not going to have anything change. So there's my new one with the new files. Put it in my mods folder. Overwrite my old one. Gotta remember that step, which I often forget. Here we can close down. What's interesting is down here I do not see the GIMP. Oh, it's a little page. I don't know why. We can close those down. Now we'll give it a try, and we should have it in there. And if these are were still too big, you can do the whole process again with the new graphic and shrink them even further until you have little pea-size apples. But these should be much better. They're a quarter of the size that they were if everything worked correctly. Look at that. Much more normal size apples in our apples. So there you have it. A completely operational with one pile of apples in the front, and we do have the pallets that will show up on the side, but we'd have to get the juice factory to produce 50,000. But yeah, the factory is now working and actually looks sort of like a juice factory. A very simple example, but it's just that's one of the factories I actually started on because of the ease of editing the graphic and stuff. So it's a great place for anybody to start. It had those bays already up. I'm in the track. Bays already set up, so it was easy to put triggers on. It even has additional places around the backside, I believe, if you need be. You have one more door back here, and that is unlabeled. It's the one door that's unlabeled. So it was a very easy building to edit and work with, especially for you guys first timers. Give it a try. It's very easy to edit with the graphics. It had the nice little box places to redo your labels. All right, I think that will be it for this project. Is there anything in particular somebody wanted to see that might be relatively easy that I could show you in a day? Just throw it out there because we got a little bit of time left. Trying to think of what else I could show you guys, but maybe you guys have an idea of something that you've been trying to do or trying to figure out how it's done. I could give you a couple pointers. Go ahead, throw it up there. If I can remember how myself, I'll do it. Does the PVR work only on a 64-bit? No, it should work on a 32-bit as well, but you're going to need a system that has recommended a 2 gig graphics card. Something you don't want a 32-bit system that is aging. You're going to need some memory on this map to run it. Some people have reported graphical glitches on older systems. Alright, factory animation. Smoke when a factory is turned on and off. Alright. Very good. Good idea. Let's see if we could pull that off. I don't see animations with the Universal Process Kit do not work completely correctly. So what we have to do is we have to have a workaround for them, and we'll show you what we do. And we've already taught you some of this, so it's a pretty simple process. Let's go back to our map and find, and this is a tricky thing because smoke animations are finicky to say the least. Let's find one on the map. We know there's some out here. I'm going to just go to right to where I know there's a bunch of them that I usually can pick up pretty quickly, and that is over, not there. Where are you? Where am I on the map? Oh, I'm up top. Down this way. If I'm heading in the right direction, we'll find a smoke animation. Now, the reason why I say this is tricky is because you cannot duplicate a smoke animation and have it work correctly. Here's a smoke particle system emitter. You want to highlight the whole group for this example. And there's a bug that if I was to duplicate it, it will not show up very often, especially with many of the particle system emitters. You always want to, basically we're going to file, export this selection right into our map itself, because we're going to bring it back into the map. So we're going to go to my PV Rivers copy, and it doesn't, because this is just, I mean, yeah, you can put it wherever you want in your map, but I'm going to, this is like a copy of for just making my add-on, so it doesn't matter really where I put it. So I'm going to call this smoke underscore emitter so I can find it and then save it. Export selection with files, the smoke particle system emitter. Now what we're going to do is, if I can figure this out, how we want to do this. There's so many ways to do things. Number one is we want it to operate smoke out of the stack when our factory is active only. And that's the problem with the UPK. I don't know if we can get it to work the way the UPK had it designed, but let's find out. We'll take my add-on, and we have our juice factory right here. Now, that's the workings of the juice. One possible way is to put it into a switcher, and when the factory has prerequisites, production prerequisites, it will show up. But let's try to do it the way that the UPK is supposed to be set up, which is under your processor. And I might need to jump back to the reference. There is a new setting which is called enable if processing. Enable if processing. Okay? And that is going to be a Boolean, and we're going to click add and then click the enable if processing checkbox. Now, what I'm going to do next is create a transform group underneath that. And I'm not 100% sure I'm setting this up right, but we'll find out. Because it's been so long. And the UPK is so bad with animations that I work around them by setting up like weird things uh, that are kind of hidden, and we may have to work one of those out in here as well. But under our processor, and I'm gonna have to double check this, but if we put a group under there, and then we import our good old smoke emitter, and then cut it out and put it into the box right underneath the processor. It probably will not work, but we're gonna see if it does. Sometimes you get lucky. It's supposed to work this way. Now that it's there, we need to put it where we want it, which would be right here on a smokestack. Whoops, highlight the smoke emitter. That would be a good thing. So we've got the little smoke emitter. You can see the little square box that's going to emit the smoke. We'll center it up in the pipe. You can actually step back, and as you're moving around, you'll see the smoke come out, but also you can run. Click the run button and you'll see where the smoke is going to come out. So the only thing I've got a question is, and let me see if I can pull it up here on the other monitor really quick. I want to find the UPK stuff again. UPK wiki. Which is right. Hang on just a minute. All right. The Universal Process Kit Wiki has everything on a processor, and we have lots of different settings. One of them is that enable if processing setting. Action attributes. If produced, if processing. So that's the one we're going to use, and it should be good. Let me see. Where did it go? Right there. Yeah, they don't give you very good examples in here, and it's all in German. But let's give it a try and see if it happens. If not, there's also if not process. These are the things that are supposed to work, but let's save that up in our add-on and give it a shot. See what happens. Find the top add-on folder. And we will put that in. We gotta get to our desktop and find my add-on and overwrite the other one. What is the difference between a tip trigger and the input trigger on this map? Probably just what tip triggers, they're pretty much the same, but the input triggers, oh, the object input triggers is probably what you're referring to. Those are ones that take palettes or objects. There's an object input trigger, and then there's the other trigger type. Those on each factory. So if it has an object input, it is for pallets or anything that's palleted goods, basically. Let me pull this up. And I don't think this is going to work because it should, but UPK, very tricky with this stuff. So let's see what happens. What the heck is that? Did I do that right? Why is it doing that? I just did something totally wrong because that should not have done that. Oh, it's being accessed. I don't care. I think we've got... Why does the file get so big all of a sudden? What did I copy in here? Oh, did I just do the whole thing again? I did. I just exported the whole map of files. I do that all the time. So, once it's done, and we have all those wonderful files that we don't need, let's do it all over again. Oh wait, we don't want to delete them all, do we? No, because I need some of them. Get them back. Get them back. I hate when this happens. I need just a few of them. Let's see. By date? Oh my gosh. Let's see if I can find them in here. I should have emptied the recycle bin a few times, you think? Let's view by details and sort by date deleted and grab everything. Well, we need that one, that one, that one. And the register Lua, where is it? And that one right here. And all our graphic files, our HUD files we'll need. I think that's all I need. Well, we'll see if I mess this up completely or not. Restore those. We still have... The other ones should export all back with the map. See, when I try to read things on the monitor and then do things, I really should concentrate a little bit better. Let's do it right here. And see if we got all the right files. That should be all of them that are needed. I think. Let's see what happens. Done there. Boot it up and see what we got. You need a shotgun mod. Alrighty, factory smoke. Let's see if we get any when it's running, or if it's there all the time, or if it doesn't show up at all. You never know. It should do it only when processing, because we have it set up enable if processing. Problem is that animations or particle systems being enabled doesn't always work correctly. If it doesn't, the other way around it we will show you, and it is to put the smoke into a switcher and hide it underground so it's not visible until till the factory is running. So we need to set up a production prerequisite that all the products are there in order for the smoke to show up, and then set it on one of the products. So we'll first try this way. And our factory, oh, we lost our apples. Yeah, I gotta grab those graphics back. But the factory isn't producing and we have smoke. That is the problem with these. It should only show up, but let's go back and show you the other way to get this to work. And close that, and let me grab my apple diffuse specular, normal, and diffuse, and restore those because we need those. Alright, back to the map. So what you want to do, you have an enable if processing, and in this group we are going to create a new transform group. So let's grab that. Actually, better yet, to make it easier on you guys, you already have one here. Let's do it this way. We're going to grab the juice switcher right here, and I'm going to copy it, and we're going to move one of those right into the processor, edit, paste it into this folder here. Now we have, and we're not going to duplicate this, but we can cut this out. The juice particle system emitter, we're going to cut it and paste it into a switcher. And let's see, how am I going to do this? I was just thinking this isn't going to work either. Juice switcher, get rid of, we're going to paste it in here anyway. Why not? We'll figure it out. And get rid of all the other ones. Alright, we can all except for the first blank one. The blank one's at 0. Those are gone. We're going to change the juice switcher. The mode is switch. So it just switches on and off. We're going to just set the juice value to 1. And we'll, so switch fill levels from 0 to 1, and we'll leave it as a switcher. And with the switcher, we're going to make the, we're going to add a hiding position. HIDING, capital POSITION. And that is going to be a string, and we're going to make that 0. Well, 200, minus 200 should be good. That'll bring it way underground, and then 0. So hiding position. Switch fill level 0, 1, and what fill types is not on our switcher? We need to have that on our switcher. Did we put that on the other one, or did I delete it by accident? Let me see. I don't know if I ever put the fill type stack. We never did. On our switcher, we need a fill types. And let me see, UPK, manual. I don't know, this is where it gets interesting. With the UPK stuff. The switcher, I can't remember if it's fill types. So we'll go over here and we'll look it up. Fill types with a T, capital T. We have to have the fill types. And we're going to make that juice because it should be on both these. So on the top one with the juice switcher, we have the hiding, but we also need the fill types. Added a string so it switches with juice. Alright, so what this is doing very simply is enabling if processing this switcher should come on if there's any juice. So it should shut off if there's not juice in it. If there is juice, it should show up with just a level of 1 juice in there when the but only when the factory is processing. Let's see if it works. If the factory is not processing, it should not enable that switcher because everything underneath the processor group should not turn on unless the group is highlighted. And with 0 juice, that should be underground. That's sort of the way we made the bridges move and everything. It's with a indivisible, like hourglass. Move the sand from one side to the other when people are in the trigger, and then the bridge would go up and down. All done on the UPK. Now, once it's done saving, I'll export it correctly, hopefully this time. Saving. Alright. Let's export the DAGNet add-on selection with files to here. Much quicker process when you only do the add-on. Alright. Don't know. We'll see if it works. Actually, if you remember correctly, we never did get particle systems on the Master because of the issues of turning them on and off with particle systems. But with the switcher, some of them work, some of them don't. We will find out. With the universal factory Lua built into the map, it's actually very simple to do it. And I can show you that as well if you just wanted to edit your own little map file to make the smoke appear if you're creating your other factories. Your own factories within the map. See what happens. The factory should not be processing, so when we jump in, we should not see anything. It should be gone. No smoke. Please, no smoke. Please. But I'm not counting on it. All right. Well, that's a plus. We don't have smoke there. So let's go get some oranges and see if we can start it up and get smoke popping out of this thing. That is the next step, right? Oranges. So as long as there's one juice in there and the factory is running, the switcher should take effect and bring that smoke up above and show it again. Whereas right now it's hidden 200 meters below the surface of the ground. That's why we set the hiding position. If you have a certain object that that you need to make sure is hidden, just set it well below the ground. We do that with the bridges as they're being built, so that people aren't running into the collisionable objects. The boats in the water also have a hiding position, so that if you're riding the ferry there, you don't hit the mast of a boat that's hidden. Because it'll be there, but it'll be hidden. And with these particle effects, they don't hide, so it's just going to be there anyway if we didn't put a hiding position on it. So we'll go get some oranges, and hopefully it worked. Now this does not work with a silo fill particle system. Tried that a billion different particle systems. I believe it works with the smoke though, once we figure it all out. And I think we might have it, because it's not there right now. So, refrigerated section please. I need some oranges. That should do it. Thank you very much. Funny thing is, we didn't have the fill type on the switcher either that we never tested with the pallets. So glad we caught that. Oh, we can do this. See if we can hop that right over to where we were. Nope, didn't do it that way. One more time. There we go. Alright. Oranges go in. Hopefully smoke appears. Oh, you know what? Our factory says FM textile again because I kind of lost that graphic. I have to pull that one back out of the other file too. But it's still showing oranges. Now, as we produce here, hopefully, once a fruit juice jumps on the menu, smoke comes out of the stack. So let's hit a little fast forward. Do we not have coal in there either? Let's see. Something's not right. No, it's producing and it's not enabling my processor. So yeah, they're tricky. My smoke does not appear. Although my palette, I've just messed up the file completely. There is one palette there. White, without graphics. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it can be done. I can show you how easily it is done in the other. I mean, particle systems in the UPK just never mix when they try to move them around. That's why you don't see anybody making silos or anything in the UPK. You can see the smoke is there. It just will not go. With the other system, it's very simple. You pick the factory, for instance, and here's one right here. If you highlight this particle system, if we can get it, my right mouse button is not working, but this has to be put into a map with the scripts on it. There's the particle system. You'll notice that, oh, maybe not on this one. Is that the particle system? Yes, it is. Let's find one that I actually did because they are not. Is that in the right group? Let's see what he did. He has a group named Truba, which is not what I'm doing. Okay. I got it going on over here for sure. If we highlight the particle system that's in this one, I believe it's not there either. Did I not do it to this factory? I guess I didn't. Let's go over to one that I did. It should be in the group that it needs to be in, and this one here I know definitely was one that I did. The old one. So we get the particle system, and you'll notice that it's in the visible effects folder of the textile factory. That's all you need to do. The rest of this script picks it up and will turn on anything that's in this visible effects folder when the factory is running. That works on the menu system we have. It just has a visible effects, and if it doesn't have one, you can actually add it into this script system. And what this one actually turns on is also the noise for the workshop will also come on with all the particle system emitters. The the factory over here has this water effect turn on when the factory is running. If I can get the water, sometimes clicking on these is harder than finding the emitter is almost impossible. But if we go down to the soy milk factory UF and we look for the visible effects folder right here, you'll see that we have the noises that come on for this factory. We have the earth emitter, which actually is, when this one is running, there is the conveyor effects that turn on these conveyors. That the one at the end turns on, as well as this smoke particle system emitter, I believe, is actually the water. And maybe it isn't. Oh, I thought the water. Nope, the smoke is there. Where's the water? Not up. It's probably in this transform group right here. Water particle system, WPS. That would be my guess. Anything that's in the visible effects folder will turn on with that. That's why this whole thing has made things kind of really cool. This whole new factory system is very simple to do things with this, whereas the UPK has its own issues. I'm sure that that particle system could probably get running because it is visible correctly in the map. It's just, why is it not turning on? There's problems with the production prerequisites and several other things in this map. Anybody else have anything else? Animations, just very buggy with the Universal Process Kit version 0.9.8. Some of those things might work in a later version, but you're going to lose some of the stuff that works in 0.9.8 and is stable. It's very tricky. I wish he had completed it and gotten all of his little bugs out. He's tried and he's tried. There's actually all the way up to, I think, version 11, but none of them have been stable on every aspect of the Universal Process Kit since 0.9.8. There are some great new features, and that's one of the things you got to look at too. When you're looking at his wiki page, there are tons of features on there because the wiki is for the latest version that aren't actually working. So stick to the ones that do. Animations and particle systems are just not a very good thing. Anybody else have any questions on the map or anything else before we call it a day? Just throw it out there. We'll be back on Tuesday. We'll do some farming. Um, we're gonna close the entries for the map add-on contest on August 12th. However, we won't be doing the drawing most likely. Well, we might do it August 12th as well. We might be doing we'll probably do it the Tuesday following. So we have time. We'll pick a winner. We'll get the entries up and let people try them. Maybe we'll do it a week later. But then we're running into my vacation. So we'll have to see when we'll do it. But the entries will close August 12th. Send entries to Alborith, ALBORITH, @gmail.com when you have them. We'll give out a first prize add-on contest of $100 PayPal to you or to any, or we can get you a Steam gift card or whatever you, if you find another gift card you'd like that we can pre-purchase for you, we can do it that way. Yes, you can store or sell washed potatoes. You can store washed potatoes you cannot store or sell them. No, you got to turn them into steamed potatoes. Washed potatoes is the one pallet that you have to actually turn into steamed potatoes if you want to store them. You got to take the extra step. Unless somebody wants to create an add-on that does it. That's a little bit tricky because you can't really create a add-on unless you're really experienced, or you find one storage building out there that was made by Marhu that you can add in. That's a different thing. But the UPK pallet trigger is another thing that doesn't work very well. So good luck with that. Anybody else? If not, thanks for stopping by, and we can catch you back here. Let's see, on Sunday at 4 p.m. we will be doing a show, 7 Days to Die early access show. We'll be giving away a copy of that game on that show if you're interested in trying to win 7 Days to Die this week. So every Sunday we're going to just alternate through a bunch of different games in early access, and we hope to see you guys there. We'll be back and we'll do some regular farming and stuff and answer more questions on Tuesday as well if you want to catch. We'll get back to doing some farming. If you have any problems with your add-ons, either type them in the forums or catch me on Tuesday or Friday and we'll answer them and try to help you out as much as possible. So we'll be here for that as well. Thank you, Amaki, and thank you, KW, for moderating, and hopefully we can, if I can figure out how to get that stupid thing to work on the UPK, I will, but it's one of those things, it's just never been good. Even with animated doors, I can get them to open, but then they crash the game. So UPK is not good for some things. I thought that the smoke animation would work in a switcher for sure, but for some reason it disappeared, and we'll look into that, and I'll let you know if I figure it out. But until next time, everybody, we'll catch you on Sunday, hopefully. See you then. See you in the next 12 channels, KW. Good night, everyone.